and welcome to this workout. So today's workout is a weighted workout, and this has been specifically written for over 40s, specifically with women in the perimenopause to menopause in mind. So the reason that is the case is because we're going to be building some lean muscle mass and increasing bone density throughout this workout. When it comes to weight selection, I've got a 3 and a 5 kilo set of weights here. I'm choosing those weights because I know that for these exercises, I'm going to be able to do my 8 to 10 reps with those weights, managing for the full set with those weights, just feeling tired towards the end. So that's what you want to be able to do. The last 2 or 3 reps should feel a little bit harder, but they should still be achievable with good form. Okay, we're going to get started. Our first exercise we're going to do as a warm-up, really important to prepare the body for the exercise. So what we're going to do is we're just going to squat down for the first one. Okay, so just squatting down, back is nice and straight, sticking my bottom out and pushing my heels into the floor. Good. So just starting off, just warming up here. The squat will warm up the lower body. It's also going to warm up the abdominal muscles as well. So now as we're squatting down, start to circle those arms around. Good. So circling the arms and backwards. Keep going. I've got a little friend here with me today. So I should say I'm recording this session live. I've got some people on the live stream with me here. I've got Sarah W, I've got Sarah D, and I've got Jane. So welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me today. And it looks like I also have Margot. Hi Margot. And rest. Okay. I want you to bring your arm in front and just stretch out into the shoulder here. Just give yourself, don't stay too still. Give yourself a little wiggle around and across to the other side. So we don't like to do too many static stretches at the beginning of a workout, but just really important to pay attention to those shoulders as we go here. Okay, the first exercise we're going to do, pick up your weight if you're using a weight. The other thing to say is you don't have to use weights for any of these exercises. You can do them all without weights if you want, okay? So pick up your first weight if you're using your weights and hold it in to your chest. We're going to come out to the side into our side lunge and come back into the middle. So we're going to go for between 8 and 10 reps. I'm going to count the 10 reps. Okay, so if you're staying with me, then we're going to go for 10. We don't want to go too fast. This is number 4, 5. Good. So using your control, 6, 7, 8. So if you're working with 8, then you can stop here and just take a little rest. Otherwise, you've got 2 more with me. And 10. Good. So you can put your weights down for a second if you want to. We're just going to take a couple of seconds and we're going to go to the other side. If you feel comfortable, you can hold on to them. So just working through to the other side, exactly the same, pushing your bottom back. Okay, really nice stretch on the inner thigh. Ready? Let's go. So over and up. Nice and controlled. 2, 3. So I'm just using my 3 kilos here. But the 2 together, obviously I'm holding on to 6 kilos in total. So you can change it up. Good. Where are we up to? Let's be 7. 8, so if that's your 8, then you can stop there. 9, 1 more, and 10. Good job. Okay, so we're going to go through that one more time. Pop the weights down if you need to. You can hold on to them if you want to. So we're just going to start to build up through these weighted exercises. You can do all of these without weights, so if you feel that the weights are too much for you at this point in time, drop them out, absolutely fine. So one more lot then, holding onto those weights, keep them in tight to your chest. Okay, ready? Let's go. Over and up. So holding the weights out in front, that adds a additional core element. The weights are going to try and push you forwards. You have to work really hard to make sure that that doesn't happen. And that's what we're going to be challenging the core here, as well as the legs, by holding the weights in front. Good. Number 8 here. And 2 more, if you want. Good, and rest. Okay, 1 more on the other side. So just taking a few seconds here. We're keeping the reps fairly low at 8 to 10. That's what's been proven to be good for women in that kind of perimenopausal state. So just really working with the science here, making sure that we're doing the right thing. Over to the other side. Let's go for our 8 or 10. 2. Good. 4. 5. 6, so keeping some nice control. 7. 8, if that's where you are. Otherwise 2 more. And 10. Good job. Okay, amazing. I'm going to show you our next exercise. Just looking in. So just if you have one set of weights with you today, that's the set you're going to be using. If you have 2 sets, again, we're going to use the lighter set. So I'm going to use my 3 kilos here. We're going to do a hammer curl to start with. So I've got my palms facing into my body, and I'm going to raise the weights up to my shoulders. So I'm going to show you that from the side. Okay, so starting position down here. Neck is nice and neutral, and I don't push my head forwards as I'm bringing those weights up. So imagine you're banging a hammer, and that's why it's a hammer curl. So we're going to go for 10 of the hammer curls, then we're going to add an element. So ready to go then, let's go. So nice and slow, up, slow on the return. Good. Slow on the return, making sure you're holding tight into those tummy muscles. That's 3. And 4. 5, taking care not to swing the weights. 6. Breathing all the time. 7. If you're at 8 and want to stop, that's great. Otherwise 2 more. 9. And 10. Good job. Okay. What we're going to do this time is we're going to add a squat in. Now, if it's too much coordination-wise, if it becomes too much for your body to take, then just stay with the standing hammer curl. But give it a try and see what happens. So we're going to squat down as we bring the weights up. It's going to look like this. So squat down as you bring the weights up, and then return as you come up, okay? Making sure to keep that return nice and slow. I will explain the reason for that in just a sec. Ready? So we're going to go with 10 of these. Let's go. So squat. Nice and slow, that's 1. Squat, 2. So we're loading the muscle as it's lengthening, 3. And that is what really helps to build the muscle, 4. Which is why we do it slow, 5. Breathing, 6, good. 7. Squatting down. 8, if you want to stop there. 9. 10, good job. Drop your weights for just a moment. We're going to add one more element into that combination. So if you're happy just staying with the hammer curl, stay there. If you want to add the squat in, add the squat in. If you want to go for the third element, we're going to go for a push. Okay, so this is where using these lighter weights is really they're going to start to feel heavy now. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Starting with your hands down by the side, we're going to curl and squat, and then we're going to push up as we come up. We'll reset and go again. Okay, so just one more time. We're going to curl as we squat, push up as we rise, and then reset. Okay, a little bit more confusing, a little bit more complicated, but it's good for your brain as well. So, are we ready? Let's get going. So, squat and curl, push, and reset. That's 1. Squat and curl, push, reset, number 2. Good. 3. Down, pushing out with the breath as well. 4. Push, return. 5, halfway there. Down, push. Good, for 6. Push for 7. Well done. So remember, if you're going for 8, that's where you are in this point in time. That's great. So that's your 8 done there. 9. And one more. Down, push, and reset. Really well done. Really good job. Okay. So, what are we up to next? We're going to do an overhead pendulum without a weight. So we're just going to give our bodies just a little bit of a rest, okay? A little bit of rest before we go again. Now, always making sure that when you pick up your weights, you're squatting to pick them up. You're really engaging your muscles as you pick them up, and also making sure that they're out of your workspace when you're not using them. Just a little bit of health and safety for you all today. So we're going to do an overhead pendulum. We do this all the time in these sessions. It's so good for the side muscles and into the back as well. So arms up overhead, no weight here, and just bending down to the side, coming back up and cruising over to the other side. Good. So over, up and over. Really pushing into the heels, holding on tight into those tummy muscles. Good. Well done. Up, over. Good. So we're going to go back and do that last exercise again. We're going to do it complete, so we're not going to deconstruct it. We're going to go straight into it and go for the complete exercise with the squat and the push. One more here. And rest. Okay, good. So grab your weights again. You've had a little bit of an active recovery there. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. So really work on that squat, push your bottom back, push those heels down as you're using the arms, and use your core to really fire up those arms. Okay, so really thinking about actively engaging the muscles. Are we ready to go? We're going to go for 10 or 8, up to you. So let's go. So down, push, and return. Good. Push, and that's 2. So this speed is absolutely perfect. You don't want to be going any faster than this. We want to keep control. Push, that's number 4. Push, good. Number 6 done there. 7. 8. Good. 2 more to go if you want. Down, push, return. Last one. Down, push, return. Good. Really good, really well done. If you managed to make sure you weren't swinging the weights around on that one as well, that's really, really important. Okay, we're going to go for some side bends here. So I'm holding the weights down by my side. You can go a little heavier here if you want to. I'm going to stay with my 3s. And I'm going to come down to the side and come down to the side. Okay, so I'm just trying to follow the line of my leg. We're going to go for 10 in total, so 1 on each side is 1. Okay, let's go. So just pushing down, making sure that you are engaging your core muscles. That's 2, 3, nice straight back. 4, good. 5, 6, good. 7, 8 if you want to stop. 9, 1 more. And 10, good. Just pop the weights down for a sec. We're just going to take the weights away from you just for a moment, and we're going to do 1 more of those. So this is a really good exercise without any weights, just working through some flexibility and mobility through the trunk, but adding some weights just gives you a little bit of extra, helps to just build up that muscle, works on getting a little bit deeper into those core muscles as well. So really, really good. Core muscles, super important for strength and for posture, which as we know is really important. Okay, ready to go again? So collect those weights, squat down to collect them. I've got my feet just wider than shoulder width, and we're going to go again. So here we are, down and down for 1. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, not rushing. 6, 7, and make sure that when you're holding into those muscles, you're not holding your breath. 8, 9, and 10. Amazing job, well done. So weights go to the side. I'm going to pick up one of my heavier weights now. If you want to just use your lighter weights, if you just have one weight, just use that weight. If you're using a heavier weight like I am, I'm just going to use one of my 5s here. What we're going to do is we're going to do a sumo squat, and we're going to use the weight. I'm holding it on the end here. As you can see, I'm just holding it on the end. And what we're going to do is we're going to squat down, and I'm holding that into my chest and coming up. So it's around about just below my chin. Okay, so are we ready? We're going to go for 10 of these, 8 if you prefer. Toes are facing outwards and really making sure that I'm forcing that bottom back, keeping my back really nice and straight. I'm going to show you the first one from the side actually. Are we ready to go? Let's go. So down, up, nice and slow, and that's 2. Straight back, neutral neck, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. Okay, we're going to go that one again. This time we're going to hold the weight down below, so the weight may well touch the floor. If you've got just one set of lighter weights, you can hold those 2 weights together. You don't have to just do it with one weight, because obviously your legs are nice and strong, so you can do that with 2 weights held together if you feel comfortable to do that. So this time we're going to hold the weight end on, but I'm going to hold it down, and we're going to try and get it to touch the ground. Ready to go? Let's go. So down, 2, 3, really force that bottom back, 4, heels into the ground, 5, good, 6, nice and slow on the return, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent work. Well done everybody, well done for staying with me so far. I'm going to go back to my lighter set, and we're going to do an overhead press with some alternate arms. Now, I like to do these from kneeling because I get a bit of extra core activation from doing that. If you want to do from standing, then you can do. So I'm going to show you from kneeling because it's my preferred way to do it. When I'm kneeling, I'm here, I'm not sitting back onto my heels. I'm making sure that my core muscles have to work really hard. So if you want to kneel with me, you can, otherwise just do exactly as I'm doing from a standing position. The arms are going to come up, the elbows are square. Okay, so we're 90 degrees in the elbow, and we're going to push up for 1, and then on the other side, that is 1 rep, and we're going for 10. So are you ready to go? Let's do this. So push, 1. So elbows stay square, that's the challenge here. 2, 3, neck nice and neutral. 4, so if you're not sure about the neck, keep the ears in line with shoulders. 6, 7, keep those elbows up. 8, 9, and 1 more. 10, good. Return the weight safely down. Give your arms a little shake if they need it. Woo, even with the 3s, that is tough. So we're going to go again, just making sure those elbows stay up so they're not dropping down over time. That's the real challenge here, keeping that nice square movement as you're pushing up, coming back, up and back. Because even when it's not working, it's still holding that weight under duress in that position. I know you can feel that. Right, are we ready to go again? So 10 more, 10 on each side, 10 in total. Ready to go, resume, let's go. Push up and up, holding tight into those tummy muscles. Remember, holding muscles doesn't mean holding breath. So breathing all the time. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If 8 is enough for you, that's 8. And 9. 1 more is 10. Good job. Okay, we're going to stay with the arms, but we're going to come back up to our feet, and it's a bit of a different exercise. So hopefully with all of that overhead work, your arms are going to be able to cope with this one as well. I'm going to go for my slightly heavier weight. Here, I'm going to go for my 5, but you can use your 3s if you want to. We're going to get into a bent over position, and we're going to be rowing up on one side and then up on the other. So just showing you from a slightly different angle here. Bent over position, back is really nice and straight. I am not hunched over. Back is nice and straight, and I'm pulling up and then up, okay? So get yourselves ready. I'm on my heavier weights. Please feel free to use whatever you have. Ready, let's go. So 1 and 1. Nice and slow on the return. 2, 3. So making sure that my head's not coming up, it's not up here. We're looking down. 5, 6. Stay in that bent over position. 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Take a rest, take a break. So just have a think about where you are on that effort scale. If you are finding this really easy, you're in your heavier weights or the only weights that you have and you're finding it really easy, it would be a good idea to maybe go for some heavier weights, okay? Because it really is ideal for women over 40s to go for that kind of 8 to 10 rep range. So rather than going lighter and just doing more, lift heavier, do fewer. That would be my suggestion for you. If you're finding it really, really hard, then you're fine to drop down to 6, okay? If you're finding it really tough, drop down to 6. That's not a problem, okay? But just make sure you are keeping form because we don't want any injury. That's key. Okay, one more of these little bad boys then. So we're just gonna really squat down into this, engage that core, make sure the head is nice and neutral as we're gonna squat down and we're gonna row. So, 1, 2, 3, so keeping form. 4, so thinking about where your bottom is, where your tummy muscles are. And 6, so if that's where you are, if you've had enough, if it's unachievable now, then stop. 8, 9, one more, and 10. Really well done. Put those down to the side. Take yourself a little break. If you need to have a quick drink here, take a drink. If you need to make any little adaptations, if you need to crack open a window, okay, just do anything you need to do. You've got a little minute here. Next exercise we're going to do is we're going to work through our reverse lunge, and we're going to go back to the hammer arms. So we did the hammer arms into the squat, now we're going to do that into the reverse lunge. So I'm going to show you what I mean. You can keep your rest here for now. So I'm coming to the edge of my workspace, I've got space behind me, my hands are down by the sides and my palms are facing into my body. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring one leg back and the weights are coming up. Back up to stand and then the other side, okay? Now you can do what you like with your lunge. You can either go for a long lunge here, if that's what's most comfortable for you, or you can drop it down and go for a more traditional lunge. Up to you, depending on what level you're at, where you feel comfortable, okay? These weights are gonna try and pull you off balance. So this is gonna feel a little bit different to how we normally do it. I'm using my 3s, so my lighter set, okay? And we're gonna go for 10 on each side. We're gonna switch sides. Are you ready? Let's go. So, and that's 1. Breathing. 2. Make sure the back is nice and straight. 3, same rule applies as with the squat. I'm not swinging the weights. 4, just returning them slowly, keeping control. 5, so if you're on the right weight now, you should be starting to feel that it's more difficult. So that's 7. They should now starting to feel heavy. 8, 2 more. Should feel like an ask, but able to do it. And rest. Drop those weights down. Give your arms a little shake if you need to. Okay, my breath is up, my heart rate is up, and I've not done a single bit of jumping. Okay, so there's a whole thing about how you can lose weight is only by doing cardio. You can get your heart rate up, and you can work on heart and lung health by doing weights. And also, can I just remind you that building lean muscle mass is such a good way to increase your metabolism, okay, which in turn helps you burn fat. So not just all about cardio. The weights are where it's at, especially if you're over 40 and you're a female. Bring on the weights is what I say. It doesn't have to be physical weights. You can do body weight as well. Body weight always helps. So, ready to go again. I know, we got that one again. It's a long old one, this one. 10 on each side, but we're just gonna get it done. We're gonna dig deep. We can do that. Get your weights. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So stepping back, coming back up to stand. Good. Not an awful lot of rest, but we're working on strengthening you up. That's 2. Making sure that your upper body is nice and straight. 3. Not swinging the weights. That's 4. Breathing all the time. Good. 6. Breathing. 7. And this is 8 if you want to stop now. Otherwise, 2 more. And the last one coming up. And rest. Really well done. Always really important to finish that last rep exactly the same as you started. So you get to the last one and you're like, 10, yeah, just put those down. Always really important to make sure you finish each rep with as much integrity as you can. Okay, we're gonna have a little lie down. Should we have a little lie down? Let's have a little lie down. I'm gonna take my light weights and my heavy weights over. If you do that, then it means that you can make the choice while you're down there. You don't have to get back up. So I'm gonna get my heavies and my lights, and then I'm gonna lie down, and the first exercise we're gonna do is a lying tricep extension. So you can do this with your knees bent onto the ground. You can do it with your legs straight, totally up to you. I'm gonna hold the weights in my hands, palms facing, and I'm gonna bring them down behind my head. So imagine I'm lying, I'm bringing them down behind my head with my elbows bent as close to my head as I can, and then I'm gonna bring them back up. We're working on the triceps and the back of the arms. So grab your weights. I'm gonna go for my 3s here. Okay, so weights are up overhead, ready to go. Behind, nice and slow, push it back up. Now, I've just automatically put my weights together here. That makes it slightly easier. If you want to make it slightly more difficult, keep those weights apart. And it does make it more tricky. Can you feel your tummy muscles working when you're down here? I wonder if you can. You can always bring your knees up if you want a little bit more into that core. You really will feel the difference there. That's 6. Nice and slow then. 7. 8, so you can stop there if you need to or want to. This is 9. And one more for 10. Great work. Okay. Stay lying down. I'm going to stay on these lower weights. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn my arms. So I've got my elbows lying straight onto the floor. My arms are sort of in a T shape here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up and together and then come back down. So I'm going to push up and together and then come back down. I'm going to come down with grace. I'm not going to just let my arms fall back down. Okay, so really working on core control even at this level down here. So ready to go, and let's go. So pushing up, nice and slow, control and grace. You know where it's at there. Good, nice. Number 2. Pushing up and coming back down for 3. Up for 4. So you can have your feet off the ground if you want to here. It's just going to give you a little bit of extra into the core. Good. Pushing it up, back down. Coming up to number 8 here. So add the extra 2 in if you want to. Up and down. Good. So return the weights back down. Okay, just come up just for a second. What we're going to do for our final little bit on the floor here is we're going to combine those two. So we're going to add a combo. We're going to do the lying tricep overextension, bring the hands back down to press. Remember, back and then up to press, okay? So I'm going to show you the first one, just looking in as I show you here. So our starting position is actually going to be in that chest press position. So the elbows are onto the floor, palms are facing towards my feet. I'm going to push up, I'm then going to turn, and I'm going to come down behind my head. Pushing up, turn, and back down. That is 1 rep. So 4 movements is 1 rep there. Please do be aware that as soon as you've pushed your arms up and you've turned, those weights are going to want to get back down to the ground as quickly as possible there. So be aware of that and just really control them as they're coming down past your head. That's quite an important part of you. So just please do be careful there. They're going to feel heavy. Right, we're ready to go for 10, 8 if you prefer, totally up to you. So get those arms ready. They're lying on the floor. My palms are facing my feet there, my knees. Ready? Let's go. So pushing up, turn. Here come the weights. They feel heavy. Push them up again. Turn. Back down for 1. Rest and go again. Up, turn. Back down behind the head. Up, back, and return for 2. Push, turn. Extend behind the head. Back, turn, and back down. 3. Up, turn, behind the head. Up, turn, and that's 4. So complex series of movements here, really taking a lot of concentration, but it's a really good way to use the brain as well as using the body. That's 5. Push, turn, all the way back. You feel that into your core as you pull that back. Good. 6. Push, turn, back. Up, turn, to rest. 7. Push, extension, up. 8. 2 more. Really breathing here into those core muscles. Feels so good. Pushing up, turn, all the way back behind the head. Coming up, turn, and to rest. Finish that movement off. Put the weights onto the ground. Well done. That was really tough. You did really, really well there. Okay. We're going to stay on the floor actually here. Stay on the floor. I'm going to keep with my 3, just 1 3. If you need to just take a little bit of extra rest here, you can always pause, take a little drink, whatever you need to do. But I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to plow on here. So we're near the end of the program. I want to make sure you get all this good stuff in this video. So I'm going to hold the weight end on. So I'm holding on to the 2 ends of the weight here. These weights are really good because they're nice and grippy. They've just got rubberized ends. Okay. If you've got the rounder ones, that probably fits into your hand quite nicely as well. So just do what you can with what you have. Okay. I'm going to lie down. The weight's going to be over my head. I've got my knees bent and I'm going to come up and then I'm going to come back down again. Okay. So I'm just going to come up slowly and then I'm going to come back down again. All right. So do whatever you can in that position. If you want to just do the crunch, pushing up, coming back down, pushing up, coming back down, just be really careful that you're not just letting the weight go. Okay, because you don't want to pull something accidentally. So we're going to do this nice and slow and controlled. Are you ready to go? Overhead and let's go. Pushing up, coming back down. Pushing up for number 2. 3 and 4. Breathing. This is number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Finish the movement. Good. Okay. We're going to come back to that in just a sec. We're just going to stick another exercise in before we do that, just to give your body a little bit of a rest, to give your mind a little bit of a rest as well. I'm going to stay with the one weight, and we're going to do a seated twist. So you can keep your feet onto the floor here, you can have your feet off the floor here, and you can pedal the legs if you want. If you've done any of my workouts before, you know the different options you can do. We're going to use the weight though. Okay, so the weight's going to come down on each side. It does make it much more difficult. I'm using my 1-3 here. Use what you've got. I would suggest lighter is better. Okay, so just use what you've got. Ready to go. We're going to go 10. 1 on each side is 1. So let's get ready to go. Down, down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Take a short rest here. We've got one more of those before we're going to go back into our weighted sit-up. So if you find these really tough, put your feet onto the floor. Okay, just slow it down. This is not about going fast. As I've said already, these exercises are all about being controlled, using our muscles to the best effect. Ready to go again then. Feet off if you want to, on if you prefer. Let's go. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Amazing work. Okay, let's lie back down. Let's get that weight overhead. I'm just gonna squidge down my mat here a little bit. So the weight comes overhead, so we know what we're doing here. We know what's going on here. We're right at the end of the program. You are doing so well if you stuck with me all this way. Feet are flat onto the mat, weight is overhead. I'm just going to give myself a second. I know that weight's going to be heavy when I pick it up, so I'm going to mentally prepare myself for that now. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So push up, coming back down. 1, and 2. Push for 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're on 8, then you can stop there. 9, last one, and it's 10. Good. So safely put the weight down. I'm going to sit back up to put mine down there. Okay. Last couple of exercises we're going to do, they are no weight exercises. So just as we started with no weight, we're going to finish with no weight. But we're going to stay lying for this exercise here. If you've done my workouts before, you'll probably know this one. We're going to do the dead bug. So fingertips are up to the sky, knees are square, feet are flat, and we're just going to push out the opposite arm and leg. This is a really great one to finish on. Loads of core activation, moving our whole body here. Good. Well done. Just a couple more here. You can do any number that you want here. We're no longer counting for reps. We're just working on a little time. Good. If you need to, you can keep that leg bent. You do not have to keep it straight if you don't want to keep it straight. And rest. Final exercise then. Slowly get yourself up. You don't want to be getting dizzy. You've been down on the floor for a while. So get yourself up. We're going to go into a tabletop position, so an all fours position. And we're going to essentially do what we just did with the dead bug, but on all fours. Just a good way to get a little bit more oxygen in. Okay, so all fours position, wrist, elbow, shoulder, all nice and stacked up, knee and hip on top of each other as well. And we're going to push out, stretch, come back in, and then the other side. So join in when you're ready. Stretching out, coming back in, out, and in. Good. Holding tight into those tummy muscles. Even though we're on the the downward slope to the finish. It doesn't mean we're not going to pay attention to what's going on here. Use this opportunity to get the oxygen in. Have a real think about how well you did today. It's so good for a bit of post-workout reflection just to think, what did you struggle with? But more importantly, what did you do well at? What will you do again? What did you enjoy? And what have you learnt? Good. Keep going. Couple more each side. Pushing it out. And the last one here. And rest. I really hope you enjoyed that workout today. There will be lots more weighted workouts to come on the YouTube, so please do keep your eyes out for those. Please do subscribe and like and comment if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye.